I heard that.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the July 15th, 2024 Board of Works Public Safety. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Diana Phillips.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone this afternoon. Please turn your cell phones off. We'll begin with roll call.
Brian Dobb.
Present.
Becky Gibson.
Here.
Diana Phillips. Present. And Jim Barrett.
Here.
Okay, everyone has the minutes from the July 1st meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to those?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Moving down to new business, we have the CCMG contract we need to approve for the paving. We awarded them last time, they didn't have all the paperwork done, so this is all the paperwork so we can begin with the paving process.
This contract has been, it goes into the situation where we have a group come in and study the streets.
Yes.
So these streets that's being worked on has
Yes.
been complied to that.
Oh yeah, what we do is, that's a good point, Jim, thank you, I'll explain the process. We have a Paiser rating system, of which we have the engineering firm come in and they rate all of our roads, and we get a map, and then we select the roads to be paved based on that rating system. You can't pick a road that's been good, it won't get approved anyway, so we pick roads in the worst condition. We have a lot of those, but we've made some good headway on those, and then, but there's a Paiser rating of 1 through 10 is how it is. So yes, the engineering firm has looked at all the roads. They assessed the roads and got a cost estimate, which was how we got the cost estimates. The contractors bid them. The engineering company goes back and they review the bid to make sure they got it correct. And then we get the contract. So yes, it's been approved several ways.
I'll make a motion to approve the request.
Second.
Have a motion second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. And that was with Dave O'Meara Contractors, by the way. Sorry about that. Okay, Mr. Bunch, you'll come up and talk about your boot drive.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having me, Ben. My name's Timothy Bunch. I'm the supervisor with the Iracs Program inside Fayette County Jail. Iracs stands for its Integrated Reentry and Correctional Support. So basically, we support them while they're incarcerated. We help work on their recoveries, mental health, any criminal behaviors. The problem we run into is a big aspect of our job is when they get released, we want them to have a successful reentry as much as possible. Some of them don't have birth certificates, some don't have IDs, some birth certificates come from out of state, and we sometimes encounter transportation fees to get them to where they want to go. We just had to buy a guy a bus ticket to get to Fort Wayne the other day when he got released. So by using the money collected from the boot drives that I'm asking for to be able to do would be allocated to those things to help them have a successful reentry into the community. The ultimate goal of the program is to reduce the recidivism rate in Fayette County. So we're just trying to get them everything they need to make that happen, have a better chance at them having a successful reentry.
There's 3 locations. Did you want to have them at all 3 locations? 6th and Green, 6th and Central, and 24th and Green.
Well, we're a team of 4, so maybe like 2 locations.
Okay, 24th and Grand and 6th and Green.
That'll work.
Those are your better ones.
Yeah.
And how long do you want to do it? 10 to 2, 9 to 1,
Uh,
9 to 12?
Let's go 10 to 2.
Motion to approve the gentleman's request.
Second.
Have a motion second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion
Thank
carries.
you.
If you would get with, who's gonna do this one? It'll be Jeremy. You'll get with Jeremy for the street department and give you all the safety equipment you need. And
Awesome.
kind of give you some instructions.
Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
Okay, the next item is, now you wonder why my question was this is Brad Colter's retirement letter. in your hands. His last day will be the 31st of July. How many 40-plus years of service? I mean, 39. Well, it'll be 40 at this time. Close. 39 years of service. We want to thank you for your service, Brad. You've been a tremendous asset.
Absolutely.
I know I had to twist his arm to stay a little bit longer. He promised me 4 years, and he gave me 4 years plus. So I appreciate the time we've had together and the things we've gotten done. We've got a lot done. So I guess this is a hard one, but I need to ask the Board of Works permission to accept his retirement.
I would like to make a motion to accept his retirement and add, it's been an absolute pleasure to work with Mr. Colter.
Yeah, I'll
I'll
second the
second
motion.
that
The same
motion.
thing as saying that Brad, to me, is probably the most important person in this town for what he's done. You know, sorry, Mayor, but
No, that's right.
he's done things in this town that most people haven't been able to get through, you know. Congratulations on your retirement.
Yes, enjoy.
Thank you very much.
So we do have a motion, a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. I was hoping for 4, but anyway, motion passed. Thank you, Brad. That being said, we want to introduce Jeremy. Jeremy Williams, he's going to be taking over the utilities and the streets. Jeremy's been working with Brad side by side for several months now.
Wilson, isn't it?
Jeremy Wilson learning the rope. What'd I say?
Williams.
Did I say Williams? Wow. He's on my RDC, sorry. Wow, I can't believe I just did that. Been learning the ropes from Brad. The good thing is Brad's still gonna be around, offer to help. He's only a phone call away, but Jeremy's doing a great job. You wanna introduce yourself, Jeremy? Come on up, sir.
So, like the mayor said, Jeremy Wilson. Started with the city back in 2014. Worked on the service crew. We repair and replace the infrastructure for sewer, storm, and water. So I cut my teeth in there with using the vac truck, working on the lift stations, being out late at night, freezing cold, fixing the water mains. A lot of hard work. Video in the sewer mains, just everything that has to do with part of keeping the water flowing and the toilets flushing, so to speak. So, and then I spent 2020 to 2023 in law enforcement here, resigned as a detective, and now offered this opportunity. And after this conversation, I hope I can fill the shoes there. So, yep, excited to be here and look forward to see what happens.
So I need a motion from the Board of Works to accept Jeremy Wilson
I'll
as
make
a
the
new.
motion.
Second?
Have a motion, a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you.
Congratulations.
You gonna stay up here? You'll
Are
be.
you gonna do the department matters?
Well, you are. You're coming up next, but I do want to say one of the reasons, there were several reasons that we selected Jeremy. We've been looking for a while, trying to figure something out. We also wanted someone that could be in that position for a longer time. One of the benefits of having Brad in that position was he had 40 years of experience. And he knew the ins and outs of the utilities. He did the forecasting, which is really, I think his strength was the forecasting side, planning for what we needed to do. And that's what we're looking for with Jeremy, is I want someone that could surpass me in this seat. And that when the new mayor comes in, whenever that is, that he can look at Jeremy and like, I don't have to reinvent the wheel. He's here, he's got the knowledge, and he can be there for a long time and really provide a great service for our utilities. So that was one of the goals, and we appreciate him stepping up, so thank you, sir.
Thank you.
But you can go on with you doing the reports then, I'm assuming?
Yep, we have the approval for new trash collection. It's going to be the Luminous Wellness Center. They're on Park Road, 2024 Park Road. I did call in. There's no hazardous material, just regular trash pickup, so permission to add them to the trash collection.
I move to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you. And Brad will touch on the next couple of items on the list. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gosh, after all that, I'd just like to sit there and look smart. Now I gotta get up there and blow it. So, I wanted to come up and explain this one. This change order with Strand is for time that they spent during the situation we had with the dewatering and the chemicals over at Smalley's and all of that we were trying to figure out. All that stuff was in addition to duties that they should have. And the reason I'm bringing it up at this later date is they had asked me about some additional funding for the extra time they put in a year ago. But I was like, let's just wait and see how the project goes. And, if everything goes smoothly and we end up having money left over and everything, let's just play it by ear. So it turns out, once we got through that, knock on wood, the rest of the project has went great. And everything was on time, and they've just done a great job. Their inspector's been really good to work with. So I'm in favor of you guys approving, hopefully you guys will approve this additional funding for all of the hours and research and everything they had to do. I mean, just so you know, they helped us devise a plan of action for the sampling. They even came down and physically took some of the samples. We traipsed around that woods out there together, trying to figure out places to monitor and find all those old wells. So I think they're deserving of it. And we do, just so you know, we had a lot of funds left over, and the interest that I told you about that we made, it's still a little up in the air what that final number will be, but this is no problem to expend these funds.
Well, I do realize that they had to go above and beyond as far as the water with that, so I see no problem in approving this request for that. I make a motion to do that.
I'll say that.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. You doing stone or?
He'll handle everything else.
Okay.
Next, the Stone Municipal.
Yes.
Briefly on this, as I'm coming on the tail end of this discussion, but I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brad, but this is for the allowing Adam Stone, you guys are aware of who he is and how he helps our city, to continue to give us kind of advice on our bonds and. Yeah, if you would.
Adam's here too if we need.
Okay.
So this one's about what I just alluded to when we were able to invest funds from the project into with Baker Tilly and literally made millions of dollars. We don't know exactly how much. Well, we were notified recently that there was this IRS arbitrage rebate rule. I hope I'm saying that right, Adam. And so it turns out there's paperwork has to be done and things have to be figured out. And we were going to have Ice Miller do it, but they recommended Baker Tilly, but we already have Adam on retainer, so Adam's gonna handle it. But for him to be able to handle it, we need this language that's contained in this agreement that gives him the right to give us advice on bonds. And there's no specific engagement for any, like if we got into something else, we would have to specifically engage him to take part in anything other than just this rebate situation right now.
Any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. You got-
Hey, Mayor, can I say something real quick before I jump off?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I just want to say thank you, and I would also like to pile on the praise for Brad. We've worked with him, and it's been tremendous, and just looking forward to, continuing to work with the city, specifically on the utilities front. Appreciate that contract language is basically a copy of the same agreement we have with the city. There's a lot of regulations and rules on bond advice. And just to be an abundance of caution for the city and the utilities, we wanted to make sure we had one covering the utilities. So as Brad mentioned, there would be nothing really build under that. There'd be no incremental cost on that unless there's some future transaction. But just for the initial advice, we wanted to make sure those compliance items were in place. So appreciate the opportunity and hope you all have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Adam.
The second order of business I have up is for the quote for the Golfview lift station. We have a station there that's given us some problems. The pumps are, well, the panel, the whole station's just kind of reached its age. We budget for these, and we try to get two done at least a year to replace them. This one is gonna go on that list for being replaced. You guys have the quotes in front of you. So the quote for $16,000 is for the panel work to be done. We've worked with S&K and that sales rep for many years, and they always do us a good job. He's been very helpful with this project already. So we'd like to get permission to continue with this quote, to do business this way with S&K on this project. And then do you guys also have another quote for the pumps for that station?
Yeah.
The 16,000 is what we have.
Okay, so that's for the panel. There's another quote that I actually just got recently. I don't even know if I had this before the agenda took place. It's for $8,500 for both pumps for that station. There's not a three-phase power there. So it has to be converted. That station only takes a few houses, so cost-wise, it's not very efficient to pay to have three-phase power brought to that station. So they went ahead and got two pumps that can have like step-downs to do three-phase. So just permission to move forward with this project and the amounts we have here.
Well, I'm familiar with that Gulf Manor lift station. I came into being, so.
It's been causing us some issues, and it's been a good station over the years, but it's meeting its end time here. It needs some attention.
Okay. I'm gonna make a motion, Mayor, that we approve this request.
Give me that amount there, please.
It's 80,
$85.74.
$85.74 for the pumps and $16,099 for the panel.
Yes.
For everything. Okay.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
And then something that didn't get put on the agenda was for the Gray Road North station that we've also been trying to get revamped, causing us some issues as well. That station was prone to lightning strikes, and we've done our best to mitigate those issues, and I think that's pretty much fixed. But now the issue is with the horsepower for the pump and reaching up the hill there, it pumps to the force main. They've got a better pump that's going to be more efficient and be able to carry the load that station takes on day to day. That amount is nearing or approximate $78,000, I believe. That's for much bigger pumps, has a much bigger distance to pump to. So I just like the permission to move forward in conversation on renewing that station, and that is the estimated cost right now. But to go ahead and tentatively put that on the schedule to be repaired this year.
You looking to get quotes, or you want to approve an amount? 'Cause we
I'd
need
like to
numbers.
approve the amount to continue with S&K on that same station.
When will they have a quote ready?
The estimated quote's $78,000. That's pretty much out the door price. I don't think there's anything missing from that. Be several months out until we can actually get all that. So, and the same with Golfview. Parts and material is still
So
hard to get.
we're approving up to $78,000 on which lift station was that
Gray Road
again?
North.
Gray Road North.
Yep. And approximately 25 on the Golfview station.
now on the 70+ thousand, that's to revamp the whole station with new pumps, or is that just controls?
It's a dry well, so it'll revamp the pumps, and that's panel, that's
Okay.
the whole works there.
I make a motion we approve his request.
Have a motion?
Second.
Have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Just a question though, I do have a question. Does that fall within what we approved a couple weeks ago about the dollar amount?
Not the 78.
No, that's why he's getting approval through,
Exactly.
the board for 78,000.
Okay,
The first two together would not.
together,
It
all
falls-
of them would be, because it falls over 100,000.
No, you're talking about the 20,000.
Well, I'm just saying if everything that he's asking for approval for,
Oh,
approval
no.
for falls over.
No, you take them individually.
Individual.
Okay, that's my question. We take them individually or all together?
That's a good question.
Individual.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
All right. Hey, is
I
that
think
it?
that's it, yep.
Okay.
good.
Marla Steele, Park Superintendent.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thanks, Chairman.
Thank you.
I had a gentleman resign from the maintenance position, our full-time maintenance position. So I had posted that position at the street department. And we did have someone from the street department that would like to transfer to the parks department. His name is Mitchell Jordan, so I am here to request permission to have him transfer from the street department to the parks department for our full-time maintenance position that's open.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. Might as well stay up and do your report. You're next.
Okay. So on the top of my report was for that position, so he will be starting tomorrow. That, I've already worked that out with Gary at the street department, so he will be transferring tomorrow. Just a few updates that we've been doing around the park. The administration building on the inside has needed some updating for quite some time now. So we repainted the walls. We did some drywall patchwork. The drywall was in pretty bad shape. And then we put a new coat on the floor and then epoxy sealed that. And so it looks really nice, and it's ready to go for the fair. They move in their office next Wednesday, so they'll have a nice fresh building to work out of next week. This month, July, is National Parks and Recreation Professionals Month, and we will be celebrating all of our staff tomorrow. Kona Ice is going to be giving Kona Ice out to all of our employees, and then that tomorrow night we'll be having a pool party with some prizes that's been donated. Pizza's been donated, so it's going to be a nice celebration for everyone in honor of National Parks and Recreation Month. Summer Discovery, our last day is next Friday, July 26th. It's been a great summer. It's went by really fast. The kids, I don't know if you've been following us on Facebook or not, but we have posted all the different activities that they've been doing, and they have had a fun-filled summer for sure. So that will end next Friday, and we will be having a celebration for them. Next year is our 15-year anniversary for Summer Discovery. So the managers are already talking about what they want to do next year, and they like to do some kind of event that brings back alumni from Summer Discovery. So I'm sure that will be a lot of fun next year. We are doing something new this summer. We're doing a co-ed adult softball league. It may have been done in the past, but we didn't have one last year, and we had a lot of people come to us wanting one. So we had plenty of people register, so that will be starting July 20th, this Saturday. The league will take, it'll go about 8 weeks or so, and then we'll have a tournament at the end. And then currently, fall soccer registrations are open. They can call the Parks Department to register or go online, and that will be open until July 31st. And then teams will be chosen and practices will begin in August. Currently, we are starting the kickoff of December, celebrating, or the season of illuminating the park, and so we're looking for people to sign up to set up a display, so they can contact the Parks Department if they're interested. So that began last week. We started putting that flyer out So we're hoping to fill the park up this year with light displays.
Can they use their own displays?
Yes.
Just have to have a spot and something to plug
Yeah.
into?
We will provide the electricity, so there'll be places for them to plug in. We have a list of requirements as far as what kind of electrical cords they can use, extensions, what kind of lights to use. So we have all of that documented in paperwork that they can pick up at the Parks Department. It's all the guidelines are listed there. We had a dive-in movie night sponsored by Communities That Care. They partner with the Parks Department, and we showed the movie Wonka, and we had over 400 in attendance that night. So that was a big event. It was pretty successful, and they had a great night. And then upcoming events, the Fayette County Free Fair is July 27th through August 3rd, and Renaissance Fair is October 10th. It's on a Saturday this year, and we're gonna expand that and have it go longer hours for the day. So those are kind of some things that are taking place right now. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Marla.
Chief Jones.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Sir.
Report for the fire department for the month of June. Start off with the overtime. Total overtime, it was down a little bit. I did get one man back. Now we're working on getting our newest member trained so we can officially count him in our manning. So, but the overtime in June total was $8,224.17. The manpower shortage of that was $7,562.96. $333.45 was the scheduled overtime, and we did have a small amount of a fire call in. We had to call in some additional manpower for a fire. That was $327.76. Moving on down to fuel usage, we used 361 gallons of fuel for the month for a total cost of $1,297.47. Incidents for the month, we had a total of 222. 36 of those were fire-related incidents, 175 EMS-related, and we had 11 auto accidents. That puts us at a total, halfway through the year, 1,208 runs. On the next page, you'll see our training hours. We had a total of 89 instructed hours of training. 77 hours of those were fire-related training and 12 hours of EMS-related training. We had 11 inspections total for the month, fire inspections, and a total of 2.5 hours of investigating fires. Don't have a lot of other things going on right now. I will say we did get our lock, we had started installing our new gear lockers. We've got 2 of those stations done. They're very nice. I probably could have brought some pictures, and I'll bring some pictures to show you guys at the next meeting, but they are very nice. The guys have a lot more room now instead of a small station 1, maybe probably a 2 foot by 2 foot cubby, and the guys have 2 sets of gear. So it's I think they like having a lot more room, and So other than that, that's all I got. Any questions?
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
Thanks. Chief Bowles.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We'll start with the totals here. Our overtime is just over 12,000 again for last month. We are still currently 2 men down, and it's vacation and holiday season, and several guys are using personal days, so our overtime is up. For gallons of fuel, we used 1,875 gallons of fuel. Anybody have any questions on those totals? Still have a little over a month to get one of our guys back from the academy. Gets back in the middle of August, and then our new guy goes again, then so it's still down. As far as incident calls, our accidents went up. We had 70 accidents last month compared to the month before. We had 41. We have 31 calls for ambulance and medical assist, 168 traffic stops, for a total of 1,423 calls last month. As far as the department goes, training hours, we had 130 hours of department training. K-9 had 16 hours. They had 6 drug addictions. They recovered 8 grams of marijuana, 61 grams of heroin fentanyl, 15 grams of meth, and 15 grams of cocaine. Those are from the K-9s. Our detective division had 7 cases. They closed 5 of those. ICAC cases, we have 7 of those still open. So, our total department drug take-in last month, we had 241 grams of marijuana, 66 grams of heroin fentanyl, 35 grams of meth, 15 grams of cocaine, 840 various pills, 35 needle pickups, 28 items of paraphernalia, and confiscated 1 firearm.
How much meth again?
35 grams. Also, last month, it was a pretty big event month. We get several requests from different agencies to attend their events. And we try to accommodate and attend all we can. We did 4 events last month, 3 touch a truck and 1 4-H event. So that's all I have. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Wolf.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Well, month of June, ordinance office report. Last month was way busier than I expected. Ended up doing 145 ordinance violations that I addressed. 37 relating to grass and weeds, 32 accumulation of trash and rubbish, 27 expired plates, demolition derby cars or abandoned vehicles, 20 relating to interior furniture being left outside the home, 7 dangerous buildings, 6 trees and shrubs blocking public right-of-ways, 4 yard exceptions relating to typically too many items being stored in the yard relating to boats, trailers, campers, things of that nature. 4 harborage of rats, snakes, mice, and vermin. 2 trees and shrubs obstructing visibility. 2 machineries not connected with the operation of a home. 2 improper zoning and land usage. 2 public information requests. 1 home-based business. 1 animal restraint required. 1 excessive noise. 1 on parking position, and 1 transient merchant. This particular transient merchant, though, went through the application process, paid the fees, and everything came back good, and he was granted approval. And so we had our first start to finish approved transient merchant in town. First impression areas, last month, I was only able to get through all of Western Avenue. I was not able to get to 44 due to the sheer quantity of call-ins and online submissions and issues when I was in the area that I just went ahead and addressing other issues. So in addition to touring State Road 44 this month, I'm planning on doing follow-up from all the previous 3 months of over 300 incidents and focusing a lot of time in the next couple of months on the quantity of dilapidated buildings and homes that are in town that are falling in, and I'll be partnering with some other cities to figure out how they're addressing those issues and working with the city attorney and the courts to try to get something done with some of these properties that are a blight on our community.
Very good.
Any questions?
Very good job, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Come on, Mr. Wilson.
Skipped ahead earlier, so I went ahead and talked about the Gray Road North lift station. So the only other thing I have is speaking about lift stations, in the transition of kind of employees retiring this past several months. It feels like we've lost a great deal of experience. So with that comes training these newer guys who are doing a great job. They're eager to learn. So I'm going to try and help them out a little more with some training, not just so much on the technical side, but the history of the lift stations and learning how to troubleshoot certain things just from the problems these lift stations may have had throughout just their service life. Luke Hobbs retired from here in September, and he's got 20 plus years doing that type of work with the lift stations. And I've spoke with him briefly, but he's on board with if we allow him to give him, if you guys give him permission to kind of contract him out to help train these younger guys on some of these stations. This short-term fix, not a long-term. There's other training scenarios for lift stations. There's a lot of power. There's a lot of electrical, ingenuity that goes into these. And these classes that I want to get these guys to aren't here yet. September's the furthest one I can get to, but we're running into issues now where we need the experience and we need the help. And I think Luke could be a great deal there. So I'd like to offer him a contract for tentatively a month, 3 to 4 weeks at a rate of $30 an hour, not to exceed 12 hours a week.
You need to have, Cindy has a contract that she can
I have
modify.
one here, a rough drafted version of it. I'm basically just asking for approval if you guys would, appease that if I was to draw one up, if it would, just permission to do it.
What's your pleasure? I don't have a problem with them drawing a contract. I like to see it before I approve it, though. That's me.
You can keep this one because I have.
I mean the actual one.
This is an actual contract. I've just changed the names for him to be on here. This is the same one we have for Penny. We're running into, just small things on stations where experience goes a long way.
Oh, yeah, we
Like I
did
said,
that.
these younger guys are doing a great job. Just don't have enough time yet to run into all the issues that a 20-year guy has ran into.
So is he carrying his own insurance on this?
He won't be offered insurance on this contract.
I think he's talking about workman's comp.
Oh, workman's
Yes.
comp, okay.
Cover all that one.
You'll need to send, his name to, Wilson Lawson.
Okay.
Just get with me after the meeting
Okay.
and
Sure.
Well, I don't really have a problem, Jeremy, of what you're trying to accomplish, but really, as far as electrical and all that, these guys you're gonna be training for that, they should have some kind of schooling on how to check voltage and that. And, I understand Luke Hobbs, as far as he's got the experience,
Yeah.
but we gotta get our people in turn, and really, I'd like for you to train more than one.
Yeah,
Because
that's the plan. That's
yeah,
the whole
putting
service
all your
crew.
eggs in one basket is a no-brainer, or it's a loser,
Yeah, I agree. I plan on doing the whole service building. Like I said, this is kind of a short term to some
Right.
issues we have right now. I've been on the Alliance website. They offer classes for lift stations. It's more in depth. It's on the technical side of things. And I've been showing these guys every time we roll up on a lift station how to kind of test for volts, continuity, your full load amps, what the pump should be drawing. So we're in it. We're in the phase of doing it, but it's just taking some time and trying to work through the weeds of getting it all done.
You said it was $30 per hour with a maximum of 12 hours a week.
Yeah, he can
This-
only provide 12 hours. a
You
week.
might want to change this on here because it says maximum of 80 hours per month.
Yeah.
So you might
Good
want
idea.
to change that.
With that change, I'll make a motion to approve Jeremy's request.
I'll second the request, but I'm very adamant that he needs to be able to make sure he has the insurance before he starts, because if something happens, God forbid.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we need to get into that kind of liability.
I will
So,
get with Wilson
Okay.
on that before we go any further with the contract. Thank you.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
On the utility side, the water plant, wastewater plant, the wastewater plant finished clearing the pre-aeration tank out. That was a big job for them, and they did a great job. It's clean, ready to go. It's just something that we're not going to use right now, but it's space that can be used for something else later. And then training sessions have begun. I know that you're all aware of the Headworks project that's going on over there. They've kind of done a short training on some of the new systems that are being operated over there. The crews got with our employees, and they had, a few hours to get together to look over some things. This was kind of the short-term one. The more in-depth hasn't came yet, but they still are planning on training the employees there on the new equipment. You may remember a conversation about the 9th Street water plant needed a roof put on it. We had 3 bids. The first bid we chose was, I don't remember the company who it was. I can't remember, but the second bid was Schomel. We went with the second bid because of just some scheduling issues where the first bidder hasn't been able to come out in a timely manner, so we're just moving on to the second bid. I just wanted you guys to know that. They were, I think the amount of money was a little over $4,000 difference between the two. But the rain keeps coming, that building keeps becoming more and more dilapidated with the roof, and it needs to be fixed. So we went ahead and got with Schomel. They should be showing up to do that roof in probably a couple weeks. Street department, we've ramped up the summer help, so it's given the crew a lot more time to hit patchwork. They've also cleaned some debris away from the trestle and sprayed the weeds, haven't been looking good. There's the city cemetery looks great. They're doing a great job keeping up with everything. I think with, like I said, the summer help has really helped the regular employees get done some tasks that have kind of been put to the wayside because of just time in general. So,
What is the status of the flooding on Vine Street?
So we've worked with NDOT and spoken conversations with them. I think for right now, tentatively, is they're putting a sign there that can be read for high water area. But the long-term fix, I don't know that we're there yet. Brad may have something to add to that, but I think that's where we're at right now. Trying to just find out how often this does back up and find a long-term fix for it.
Yeah, we've been in several discussions with them. They're looking at it from their side, engineering side. There's a lot going on behind the scenes.
Yep.
I got two questions, actually.
Yeah.
One of them is, when is K&W started on the canal to be able to take the trees out? Do you know?
I do not have an answer for you on that one, no.
Okay.
I think he's planning on starting into August, probably, maybe the first couple weeks of August. But I'm not real sure. I'd have to get back with you on that.
Okay, the reason why, because that storm that blew through yesterday, we lost a couple trees.
Yeah.
That they would have fallen across Western, could have been a little bit different.
You're
But
right.
luckily, they fell across the canal.
I think it's a couple of weeks out, but I can definitely get you a more concrete answer.
Okay.
Get with you after.
All right. Thanks.
Yep. The transfer station, not much to report on right now. They, this past month, for month of June, 353 tons, street sanitation disposal, 544 tons of public disposal, and 897 tons of waste was sent to the landfill. The recycling was around 22 tons. Water plant, we've still working on the well project that's moving forward. I'm happy to announce that we're a little under where we thought we was going to be at on that one. We're looking to be a little higher on the amount, and we're actually a little lower, so that's a plus. But I believe that's all I got for today.
Just a quick comment, I really appreciate the street department from the standpoint of the way they keep the cemetery and also the way they keep Western Avenue.
Done a really good job.
Good
Things
job.
are starting to look really good.
Yes.
Yep.
Appreciate you guys' time.
Not a problem, thank you.
Director Powell.
First of all, I want to apologize to the people at home who can't hear me right now. The rack just went offline again. We had 2 power outages over the weekend, and it has negatively affected the studio right now, so went back over and rewire everything. For the month of June, we had 7 hours, 51 minutes of media production, 7 hours, 52 minutes of original production. YouTube Analytics had 6,798 views, 872 hours viewed, and 3,630 subscribers. Top content, no surprise, CHS graduation. And then the National Day of Prayer and City Council meeting on June 3rd. I added Facebook Analytics onto this report as well, so we can get a look at that. The most impressive, of course, is the City of Connersville's Facebook page has 21,300 impressions and 5,753 followers, so that's really, really good. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief Harden.
Everybody can exhale on the last one, so. Won't be the shortest, but it won't be the longest, I'll guarantee you that. So, everyone should have a copy of my June 2024 report. We had a total of 362 calls for service. That's been our busiest month for the last 13 months. I think the last month, when I was here, I'd said that we'd set a 3rd place record. Yeah, that held for about 5 days. Before one of the shifts tied the busiest shift record back to 25 calls. So there were some really, really busy days. Really, really busy days. And there's no rhyme or reason. People say, oh, weekends are busy. No, technically our busiest days are Tuesdays and Thursdays. Don't know why. It's been that way for years. Multiple services I've been with, it's usually never the weekend. You can see our fuel usage, 176 gallons of diesel and $2.93 of gas. The fuel rate rebate that was submitted was $202. For the last few years, we've been trying to do something with our parking lot. We've had the cracks filled. This year, we finally got it crack filled again and sealed. So it is a pretty decent chunk of money. It's $4,500. When they were there, I said, what's a parking lot like this go for to dig it up and redo it? He said $85,000 to $95,000. So I figured, you know what, we can spend the $4,500. So that's all done. Hopefully that'll last a few years. We did have a staff light come in and do some in-services on some new airway devices, Decanto section and Thomas airway devices. They keep coming up with newer and better stuff, and sometimes we don't have the in-house expertise to really teach that. I mean, you read or watch a YouTube, but they've been using both of these for a little while, so it was good to have them in a couple of days. Creative Steps, preschool touch truck, Walmart, Riley fundraiser touch truck. Some planning for the active assailant training and planning for the fair. And then, as you can see down there, the set and tide shift records. Got my incident reports and financials. Do you have any questions on any of that? So the next thing, I emailed everyone last week some preliminary information on a truck that was involved in an accident. I got more information today. I told the mayor I've been calling in every favor. I'm like, I've got to have this by 12:30, and they pulled it off. So we did have a vehicle that was involved in an accident. It had very, very significant front end damage. It had some things that did not make me comfortable. It was going to take a lot of work to make me comfortable with that truck again. We had some frame damage. They're like, well, it's fixable. I mean, it's fixable, but do we really want it in an ambulance? So I have talked to the fire service manager at St. John, Indiana, where that truck is now located. That is their service center and remount facility. their initial estimate to repair the damage was $41,000 and change. That was from the insurance. After I talked to fire service, we're looking at a truck that's a 2018, with 119,000 miles on it. Everybody I've talked to from the service side, to the mayor, to the mechanics, they're like, well, why are we spending $41,000 on a truck with that many miles? First thing you gotta realize is, even though it's one truck, it's two components. There's the chassis and there's the box. Together, it's $450,000 together. But when you separate the chassis and the box, the chassis is obviously the least part of that expense. Initially, I thought I could get a chassis for about $42,000. It's actually more than that. If you look at page 2, it's actually $52,000 and change. But my administrative goal is to have the frontline trucks not frontline after 150,000 miles, because the maintenance will just eat you alive. So really, that truck's only got about 20% of its useful life left. My plan was to remount that in 1 to 3 years anyways. So right now, where we've got is the next paragraph, just to get it into a frame shop, just to get it in, not to do the work, just to get it in the door is gonna take a month. Our reserve fleet is taking a beating. There's a 97 and a 2011. They've both been in the shop numerous times. Once they were towed. So they're taking a beating because they're older and they're not really, that's why they're backup fleets. Robert Wilson Lawson Meyer really worked with me with the insurance. There's still gonna be some wrangling, but that second page, you'll see that new 2024 E450 chassis, $52,000 and change. The remount fee is $36,242.68. See the total project there is $88,972. But the insurance is ready to write us a check. They said they don't care if we fix the truck, but they'll write us a check for $41,000, and that'll leave our portion at $47,900. With the age of that truck, the mileage of that truck, the extent of the damage, the rigors that those trucks go through, I'm not sure that throwing good money after bad to fix that is the right answer. So basically what I've proposed is that we take the insurance money, we put that toward buying a new chassis, and we remount that truck now. If not, we're gonna be paying the full amount in a few years anyways. This is gonna reset the clock. The other thing to look at is I said, what's the chassis gonna sell for next year? He's like, well, we don't know, but historically, Ford chassis are going up 7 to 10% per year. So in 3 years, we're looking at a lot more money. So that's kind of where I'm at. So it's been a lot of back and forth. We're over a month in and we're not making progress. It's slow going with insurance. And it frustrates me to no end. I'm like, let's go, and that's not the way the world works. So that is my proposal, is that we go ahead and remount this truck. The fastest they've ever remounted one was 3 weeks. That's a perfect world. I would say 4 to 6. But it's gonna take us 4 weeks to get it into just a frame shop. So that's not including everything else. The engine stuff, the cosmetic stuff, the electronics in it, all of that. Does anybody have any questions, discussion?
So you want to put the box on the 2018 ambulance?
Yes.
Okay, that has over 119,000 on it?
No, he wants to
No.
buy the new chassis
He
and
wants
put
to
the
buy the
box
chassis
on the
with
new
the box.
chassis.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I'm,
Okay, so
Yeah.
these boxes, this company Rev, those boxes are made to be remounted 3 to 4 times.
okay.
They're all aluminum. There's not a lot of moving parts on them, so it's not like, transmissions and engines, they're boxes, a lot of electronics. There are some moving parts, but by and large, it's a box. So what they will do is they will take that box, it was new in 2018, they will basically disconnect it, lift it up, pull the old chassis out, put the new chassis underneath it, set it back down. Everything gets reconnected, all the HVAC, all the regular wiring, so your brake lights, your turn lights, your clearance lights, all the electrical for the back components, all your sections, your patient compartment lighting, fans, exhaust fans, all of that sort of thing, charging for the equipment in the back. So that's what those boxes are meant to be remounted. So that's the reason we can get by with this versus not doing it.
I just had a question because I didn't see where it actually said that it was mounted on a brand new chassis.
Yeah, so what we'll try to do is put it,
Okay,
to purchase a new chassis to place under the ambulance. I should
okay.
have said box there.
I've
So-
looked over that, sorry.
Yeah. So it's a little more than what I had initially thought, but I still think it's probably our best bet, and really, it's, for safety reasons, I think it's definitely our best bet, and from a financial standpoint, I think it is, it's still our best bet. We do have money in the non-reverting to cover the balance of the difference between what the insurance is gonna pay and the cost of the project.
I think it's a good idea because I think, you know, a lot of times when you have to have something redone, a lot of times after it's redone, then you still run into problems, electrical problems. all
Never
that, so-
quite right.
Exactly, so.
And there's still damage that we don't, they haven't pulled everything apart. There's still damage under there that we don't know exactly what's in there, how it affected the engine and so forth. So what I don't want to run into is then get into it 3 and 4 or 5 weeks down the road and say, oh, well, this is, no, we're gonna total it out. And now we've just lost all that time. So,
And we're talking 1 to 3 years regardless, so
yeah,
it's just putting good money after that, yeah.
it resets the clock. Now we're gonna have a new truck that we don't have to worry about in 1 to 3 years to remount. We've still got the other 2 on order. Hopefully one will be seeing the first one in 30 to 45 days. I'm already getting stuff for the equipment that goes in them, the specifications and all that sort of stuff. I got those phone calls last week. So hopefully, by this point next year, we'll be sitting really good as well. Knock on wood.
If nobody else has got a question, I'd like to make a motion we approve the man's request.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
We went down to old business. Anyone have any old business? Miscellaneous business, I got a couple things here. I just want to remember Jean Lysing's family. Her husband Frank Thompson passed away.
Really?
So the funeral's this Thursday. I'm sorry, the viewing is Thursday. I think the funeral's Friday. Just want to remember them in our thoughts and prayers. I'll be going to the visitation, so. She's been a great servant to our community, and she's been, and Frank was a great guy. I really liked him a lot, so. Remember her family in your prayers. We do have one issue. It's really, the city council is going to be the one deciding, but I'm looking for multiple input on this. Our streetlight situation, all of our streetlights are old. We lost another one on Central Avenue and 8th Street. The gentleman who takes care of our streetlights, he does it for NDOT as well, so he knows the streetlights very well. And basically what happened with that streetlight was it rotted out at the bottom. And I don't know if it got hit or if it fell over or what, but when it rotted out, all of the moisture just destroyed the electrical components in that. It took a while, but that's what happened to it. And he was able to get it to set into what's called flash mode, where it's just flashing 4-way stop. But there's no components available for that thing whatsoever anywhere. His recommendation, he can either replace it, which is not his recommendation, because he bases everything on traffic counts and studies, and he doesn't really see a justification for another stoplight on Central Avenue. So the recommendation is either make it a 4-way or 2-way stop. That's the recommendation. A new light, just for example, is around $250,000 to begin with. And to spend that kind of money on that intersection, not really sure we need it. So just looking for thoughts and input on that, because we're going to be moving in that direction shortly. And look at 9th Street, we put a 4-way stop just because I think we had a lot of cross traffic, and I think it's been flowing great. I really haven't had any issues there. I think traffic moves a lot better. It doesn't back up if you noticed.
I use that a lot.
Because
It's
they
been
stop
very
and they're
smooth.
able to go, and then you don't get the backups. Like out here on Central and Fifth Street, you got people sitting there backing up, waiting to turn, and there's no one coming. When the light turns, then it moves, but it just works better, I think, not having the stoplights. I really don't see a need for them. That's my 2 cents. I'd like to know what you guys are thinking on that, because we're the operations side, so.
That's by the post office.
Yeah.
My opinion, I would think that we need to have a four-way stop there. There's too much traffic there at the post office to have two-way.
That's what I think.
I agree with Brian,
Go down that way
because,
every
see,
day.
you're coming off on A Street there, there's a lot of side traffic.
There is a lot of side
From the
traffic.
post office, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
but
Well,
I
the
don't really
bank-
see a
in the bank
problem.
there
with-
too, there's-
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
see a problem with four-way. I use that one at Ninth Street all the time. I mean, I never see it back up there.
Me too, and I've not had seen any near misses or anything like that. People are
To be honest with
observing
you, I
it.
try to stay off Central Avenue. I always go over the Easton.
He doesn't want to hear that.
Okay, well, we're gonna talk about it at city council. I just wanna know your thoughts before we can move forward on that. The more input, the better decisions get made, so I appreciate that.
I think it's just the initial change and people getting used to it, because I was at the other intersection, somebody just blew right through it as I was getting ready to cross, so that's the only thing, is people having to pay attention.
That's why we left that light flashing, it's still flashing, just so people get used to it before it comes
Yes.
out. 8th Street, we're hoping it will stay flashing, it'll be the only question, until we get a company here to remove poles. We can't remove the poles ourselves, we gotta have a company come and remove them, so.
Would it be feasible to do like a, one over at 18th and Western, those solar stop lights, you know?
They're not solar, oh, you mean it's the flashing lights?
Yes.
No, those things are, what it cost us, 8,000 to do those? I think it was 8,000. I was off the top of my head, between 8 to 10,000, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Can't
They're salty. And then when you get cloudy days, they don't work.
Right.
So, really, we did that on that intersection just because the light was gone
Yeah.
and we didn't have a visual anymore. That gave a visual for people, hey, you need to stop, because we're used to looking at the light, where we still have the lights flashing on Central for now until they go out. But that was the reason we didn't do those, and they're very expensive. Where a regular stop sign's a couple $100.
Yeah.
Okay, any other miscellaneous business? Claims.
Claims for July 15th, 2024, the city, $958,412.30. Payroll, $549,483.63. Utilities, $1,059,539.41.
Motion to approve claims.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Come out there from the public. Nope. Take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Good afternoon.